Okay, it's time for a silly charts update. And today the silly charts have been spot on. They've been bang on accurate. Is it the chart or is it me? Well, you can be the judge. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin came off yesterday, had a pretty big move down, about 3%. And that's fine. But looky here. I drew this line, I don't know, a week ago or something. When it started to sell off, I said, well, hang on. We're still clinging to the trend line. We're still in an uptrend. Now, this is a 4-hour chart. We can look at a 2-hour chart. We can do whatever. We don't need a super low time frame chart for the type of trading we're doing with options. Options, as I said many times, it's like horseshoes and hand grenades. You just need to be close when you're selling them. That's why I love to sell options. But let's go back to this chart, and it held until it didn't. That trend was broken. Okay, great. Now what? Well, you know what? It's kind of a no-brainer that I shouldn't say a no-brainer, but it'd be pretty likely we're probably going to stop somewhere down in this range. There's lots of resistance there, and in fact, we can even go back and we can say, all right, well, here let's move the chart a little bit lower here. No, that's not going to work. That's fine. Let's just go back here and look backwards. When you're talking about charts, you always look left. Always look left. It's like when you want to cross the street. Always look left first, right? Unless you're in the UK, then you look right first. Or Australia. Or Hong Kong. Or anywhere where you drive on the left-hand side of the road. Anyways, the point is there's orders here. There's activity. There's support there. Now, that's not to say that the price just couldn't barrel through it and go down, $5,000, in 6 hours on a news play or some dramatic event. It's the market, absolutely anything can happen. But I'd reasonably expect if we continue down that we end up down somewhere in this 26,000, 25,000 area. Now, sometimes you'll get a poke through. It'll poke through the bottom of support and just scare the bejesus out of everyone, and then kind of pop back up and stick in a range. And that might happen today. We're still a little bit weak today. We're not dropping anymore, but it's pressing the bottom of that. So we'll see if it holds. Now, the funny thing is Richard, when it was up here holding around this range, was just kind of poking through a little bit, but it wasn't breaking it yet. And these lines, hey, you're going to get a breakthrough, a little poke through and back up and poke through. Doesn't mean it's broken. This is broken. Okay, if it goes back up and regains it, it'll go back up and regain it. But for now, it's broken. But Richard sent me a message that one of those evenings, you can see 8 o'clock at night. And it said, Bitcoin looking shaky, or are we about to bounce into a short squeeze? And I said, well, it's still clinging to the bottom of the channel, that up channel, right? I don't trust a down move. I suspect it will be a wick or short-lived, unless it's a trend break, okay? In which case, I think we'll go down at least $800. Well, he asked me about that right here. Let's just see. Where did that go? Right around there. Oh, $800. Just send checks. I accept Bitcoin, cash, cars, diamonds, whatever you got. I accept it all for my advice. Anyways, point is sometimes technical analysis can be a very, very handy tool. But you don't want to lean on it 100%. It gives you guidelines, it gives you areas and parameters. And sometimes things don't make sense, and that's just trading. When we pop over to Ethereum, we're still far from, or actually even on Bitcoin, we're far from those unicorns I put on way back in the summer. I put these unicorns. I said, if we get a crazy spike up here, I'm going to be selling against that trend. I'm going to be buying puts. I'll be selling calls. I'll be all in, on a reversion to the mean. Same thing with the unicorn down here, because we had scares down in those areas. See, if I go back far enough, why did I put my unicorn there? It wasn't just some arbitrary number I picked out of my head. Well, you know what? We've got some stuff in this area. This area. It's probably not going to bust through it unless it has a really, really strong reason to do so. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Let's go check out Ethereum. And Ethereum's a little bit different. We've been banging our butts along the bottom of this little mini range. And does this little mini range make sense? Well, sure it does. sure it does. Look, let's go back. Look left, look left. Lots of orders. Lots of people have shorts and longs around these positions, around this level, these price levels. That's what causes this. Market makers have positions, retailers positions, institutions have positions. Okay, that's why it tends to get hung up on these areas. So if we break down from here, well, I suspect we're going down here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw high 1400s to even 1300 if we had a strong breakdown. I think that would be kind of reasonable, and then I expect it to kind of hold and stick around there if it didn't bounce right away. So that's a little bit of a silly chart update. I hope that helps everyone. As always, just follow us on the Shane versus Richard Deribit trade battle, and we'll see you with the next update.